This is the same point we want to make to you. You can't turn that river off. You cannot hold yourself against the current of what life has caused you to become. And when you try, you don't feel good. And when you let go, you feel ever so much better. So let's go. Some things you want to talk about. Good. So much you want to talk about. You must understand that this gathering happened before you dragged your physical bodies here. That your life has caused you to send forth your rockets. The source within you has met those rockets, and the answers to everything that you want are all queued up for you. So this will be a magnificent unfolding. We want you to know that it doesn't matter where you are. You can put your boat in the stream any place. It doesn't matter. You might be putting your boat in the stream at sickness. You might be putting your boat in the stream at not enough money. You might be putting your boat in the stream at brink of a financial disaster or brink of a marital disruption. You could be putting your boat in the stream with physical sickness that you are experiencing or your awareness of someone else. In other words, there are all kinds of reasons that you feel the way you do. Wherever you're putting your boat in the stream, it does not matter, because in every single case the stream is moving toward the improvement that you seek. The stream is moving toward the solution to the problem. It's moving toward the answer to the question. It's moving to the becoming of who you are. The stream is undeniable. It is always moving, and it won't stop moving toward that which you are. So it doesn't matter where you are. In fact, we think it is very helpful to realize that you are where you are relative to any subject of importance to you. And if you can sort of make peace with where you are, there's this thing that happens to you as you put your boat in the stream mentally. If you say, all right, the stream is flowing, and it's going to be all right, there is an automatic releasing of resistance and a turning and moving toward improvement. But if you put your boat in the stream with the attitude, I'm not where I should be, you automatically turn upstream. If you put your boat in the stream and say, I should have known better upstream, you go, I should do better upstream. You go. Even if you put your boat in the stream and you say, I'm going to try really hard upstream, you go. Feel the difference between, I have a sickness and I'm going to find a way to heal myself upstream, upstream. And I am where I am. My physical body isn't where I want it to be, but it's going to get better. Or I am where I am and I want things to be better. Feel the difference between I'm going to make this happen upstream and I'm going to allow the resources of the universe to help me work this out downstream. Problem on one of the sticks, solution on the other. Which way are you pointed? Which way are you feeling for? And so many of you, for some reason or another, have become so defensive in your competitive feeling of those who surround you that it seems as if you need to defend why you want something by pointing out the pearls of not having it. And that is the biggest trap that we see happening, especially in your culture today. In your culture today, you have no legitimate excuse for negative emotion. Well-being is abounding in such significant proportion to not well-being that you really have to reach hard to find things to focus negatively upon in terms of the scope of the world. And yet it seems to be the orientation because you've sort of been trained by your mother or father who you thought was the resource through which all of your good flowed. That unless you plead a needy case, they won't give up the goods. You're not pleading your needy case to the universe. You're simply extracting from the variety your choice of what you prefer. And the source energy immediately becomes the vibrational equivalent of your preference. And if you're not living it in full-blown manifestation, it's only because what's active within you is something other than your preference. You must be talking about something other than what you want, or you would be living everything that you want. If you begin to understand that your work is to make it an emotional journey, let your journey to your financial fortune be an emotional journey, not an action journey. So how does that play out? Well, that plays out that you imagine it and you pretend it, and you feel good about it, or you even hope it. But you just can't keep saying it's not working. It's not working. It's not working without turning around and going in the opposite direction. You've got to find a way to keep pointed in the right direction. And your emotions are that indicator. So in every moment, you've got two emotions. One feels one way and one feels slightly better. In other words, one feels good, one feels bad. If you will look at it in that way, sometimes people will say, Wayne, I can't tell the difference on this. And we say, then keep focusing upon it until it becomes strong enough that you can feel it. Emotions will always give you guidance. And when you decide to let yourself be guided by your emotion, now you quantify your journey. And now people who are watching you, who haven't caught on to what your magic is, will notice that things are manifesting faster for you. But what they will notice first is you seem irrationally joyful anyway. How's it going? They'll say, great. Oh, did you get that job? No, it's coming. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. No, really, seriously. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. Well, did someone call you? No. Did you get the second interview? No. Why are you so happy? Because it's coming. Well, how do you know that it's coming? That's the big question. How do you know it's coming when the physical evidence is to the contrary? How do you know? I know law of attraction, and I know how I've been feeling. And I know that there's not a shred of evidence to the contrary of it. I know that when I feel this way, things are moving in the direction I've been here before. I felt this way that one other time and it panned out well. In other words, you can let loose of all of the evidence that is to the contrary when you know the law, and the law says that which is likened to itself is drawn. And what it means is the vibration that you are emanating is being matched, and the evidence is soon to follow. You live in this wonderful environment where there is a buffer of time, and that buffer of time says it's not going to manifest in the first moment you thought it. And friends, that's a very, very good thing. Because until you get really good at directing thought, you don't want every thought that you think to manifest. But from a non-physical standpoint in the stability of source, from the perspective where worlds are created, when you leading edge genius, worthy person out here, on the leading edge of your experience, live something which causes you to delicately, infinitely, specifically identify something that you would prefer for you. Source says you ought to know, consider it done, and becomes a perfect vibrational match to it. And in that moment calls you to it. And when you hear the call, even if it's rage, you're moving in the right direction. Nothing is more important than the way you feel. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, our mantra would be nothing is more important than that. I feel good, and I would modify that by saying nothing is more important than that. I feel good, and today from where I stand, I'm going to do the best job I can of finding the best feeling thought that I can find from where I am. Not the best thought I've ever thought. Not the best feeling thought I've ever found. Not the best thought anybody has ever thought. Only the best feeling thought I can find from where I am. And as you care about that and you find an improved thought, you'll find another and another and another. Because you do it on one subject, you'll be able to do it on another and another and another and another. And the more you do it, subject after subject, the more you clean up your vibration until you become so expectant of good things to come to you. You know people like that, don't you? They offer a thought with calm and ease. They don't struggle about it. They don't work nearly hard enough in your estimation. And things just go their way. How can that be? Because there's no contradiction in their vibration. So then you say, okay, suppose I play your silly game and I clean up my vibration. What do I do about all of those other people that are up close to me in my life who aren't having any of it? And we say, then the world is treating them the way they vibrate, and the world is treating you the way you vibrate. And you say, yes, but this person's in my world. And we say, give your attention to the most positive aspects of that person. And that's the part of that person that will be in your world. Well, where would the rest of that person go? The rest of that person will rendezvous with honorary toads at work, people who flip each other off in traffic. You get to the point where you begin to recognize that everything that comes to you is coming in response to something that you're doing. Do you know that there are diseases that are vibrational matches to fear, and there are diseases that are vibrational matches to frustration? And we got to tell you, you want this one? Not this one. Do you know that there are traffic accidents that are vibrational matches to despair and total disempowerment? And there are traffic accidents that are matches to frustration. And there are traffic accidents that are matching anger. And there are the absence of traffic accidents that match appreciation. In other words, everything that comes to you matches where your average vibration is on those subjects. See how it works? Everything that comes to you is evidence of your vibration. So the first thing we want to say to you is, if you begin to pay attention to the way you feel, you will have pre-manifestational awareness. And we want you to understand that you get to choose how close up you get to everything. And when you start moving yourself in the direction of what you want, you feel a desire to embrace the manifestations that are showing themselves to you. Because each manifestation is a little better than the last. That's how you tell if you're going in the right direction. Each manifestation is a little better than the last good. We think you've got that. There is great love here for you, and as always, we remain joyfully in your vortex. This will find you when you need it most. Ponder these words, for they contain within them the very essence of your being, the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within you. You see, everything in your world, every circumstance, every encounter, every fleeting thought is but a reflection of your own consciousness. And it is this consciousness, this awareness of being, that is the true source of all that you experience. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. You, my dear listener, are not merely a physical body moving through space and time. You are in essence pure consciousness, the very fabric of reality itself. And it is through this consciousness that you shape and mold your entire world. Every desire, every fear, every leaf you hold dear becomes the blueprint for your life experiences. Now you may ask, but Wayne, how can this be? How can my thoughts and feelings create my reality? And to this I say, open your mind to the greatest secret of all, the law of assumption. This law, as immutable as gravity itself, states that whatever state you assume to be true must be made manifest in your world. It is not hope, not mere positive thinking, but a deep, unshakable knowing that brings your desires into being. Consider for a moment the times in your life when you've needed something most. Perhaps it was guidance, perhaps it was comfort, or perhaps it was a sudden flash of inspiration. Did you not find in those moments of greatest need that the very thing you required seemed to appear as if by magic? This, my friends, is no coincidence. It is the law of assumption at work, bringing to you exactly what you need precisely when you need it most. But let us not mistake this for some external force, some capricious universe doling out favors. No, the power lies entirely within you. You are the operant power, the God of your universe, shaping reality through the power of your imagination. When you fully grasp this truth, when you internalize it to the very core of your being, you will understand that nothing is impossible to you. Imagine, if you will, a world where every desire of your heart is fulfilled, where every dream you've ever dared to dream becomes your living reality. This world, my friends, is not some far-off utopia. It is the very world you inhabit right now, waiting to be molded by the power of your assumption. For when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, When you live from the end, as though your desire were already a fact, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension, aligning the entire universe to bring about your desired state. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried positive thinking before. I've visualized, I've affirmed, and still my desires elude me. To this I say you have not yet fully embraced the law of assumption. For it is not enough to merely think positively or to visualize half-heartedly. You must feel it, live it, breathe it. You must assume the state of your wish fulfilled with such conviction that to experience anything else becomes an impossibility. Let me share with you a technique, a method so simple yet so profound that it has the power to revolutionize your entire existence. It is the technique of living from the end. In the quiet of your mind, in that still space between sleeping and waking, create a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. See it, feel it, taste it, touch it. Make it so real, so vivid that for a moment you foresight your present circumstances entirely, and in that moment of forgetting, you plant the seed of your new reality. But remember, my dear friends, this is not a one-time exercise. It is a way of life, a constant state of being. You must persist in your assumption, even when the outside world seems to contradict it. For the outside world is but a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. Your true power lies in the present moment, in your ability to choose right now the state you wish to occupy. Consider the biblical phrase before they call, "I will answer." This is not the proclamation of some external deity, but a profound statement about the nature of consciousness itself. Your desires, your needs are already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility. It is your task, through the power of assumption, to bring them into your three-dimensional reality. Now you may wonder, how long must I persist? When will I see the fruits of my assumption? And to this I say, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is directly proportional to the naturalness of your assumption. When your desired state feels as natural to you as breathing, when you can no longer conceive of any other reality, then will it manifest with a speed that will astonish you. But do not be discouraged if at first you stumble, if doubt creeps in, if the old man reassess himself. This is natural, for you are engaging in a radical transformation of consciousness. You are literally rebirthing yourself, shedding old limitations, and embracing your divine nature. Persistence is key. Each time you catch yourself stepping into old patterns of thought, gently but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. Remember, my friends, that your imagination is not bound by the so-called facts of your current reality. Your imagination transcends time and space, operating in a realm where all things are possible. When you imagine lovingly on behalf of another, when you see them as they wish to be seen, you are performing the highest act of creation, for in truth there is no other. All is you pushed out, all is a reflection of your own magnificent consciousness. Let us now turn our attention to the concept of time, for it plays a crucial role in understanding how this message finds you when you need it most. Time, as you experience it in your day-to-day life, is but an illusion, a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, all moments exist simultaneously. The past, present, and future are one eternal now. This understanding is crucial, for it means that the moment of your greatest need and the moment of its fulfillment are one and the same. When you fully grasp this truth, you will see that there is no waiting, no striving, no desperate seeking. There is only the calm assurance that all is well, all is as it should be, all is unfolding in divine perfection. Consider the times in your life when a book has fallen open to exactly the page you needed to read, or when a chance encounter provided the very guidance you were seeking. These are not random occurrences, but perfect demonstrations of the law of assumption at work. You drew these experiences to you through your state of consciousness, through your awareness of need, and your openness to receive. Now let us delve deeper into the mechanics of manifestation, for understanding this process will empower you to consciously create the life you desire. Every experience in your life, every person you encounter, every circumstance you find yourself in is a reflection of your dominant state of consciousness. Your world is quite literally molded by your beliefs, expectations, and assumptions. This is why two people can experience the same external event in radically different ways. One sees opportunity where another sees obstacle. One finds joy where another finds despair. The difference lies not in the event itself, but in the consciousness through which it is perceived. Understanding this, you begin to see the immense power you hold. No longer are you a victim of circumstance buffeted about by forces beyond your control. You are the author of your life story, the director of your grand play, and with this power comes great responsibility. The responsibility to consciously choose the states you occupy, to carefully curate the assumptions you hold. But how, you may ask, does one go about changing deeply ingrained patterns of thought and belief? The answer lies in the art of revision. Each night before you sleep, review the events of your day, but do not simply replay them as they occurred. In fact, revise them. See them unfolding as you would have wished them to unfold. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of fulfillment that comes with this revised version of events. This practice serves two purposes. First, it trains your mind to focus on the desired state rather than the current reality. Second, and more profoundly, it actually rewrites your past. For remember, time is an illusion. The past exists only in your memory, and your memory can be altered through the power of imagination. As you consistently practice revision, you will find that your entire perception of life begins to shift. You will naturally gravitate towards more positive states of being, attracting experiences that align with your revised assumptions. This is how you actively participate in the creation of your reality, how you ensure that what you need most always finds you at the perfect moment. Now, let us address a question that often arises when discussing these concepts. What about other people? Can I use the law of assumption to change their behavior or circumstances? The answer, my friends, is both yes and no. Yes, in the sense that all is you pushed out. All is a reflection of your consciousness, and no, in the sense that attempting to manipulate others for personal gain is a misuse of this divine law. Instead, I urge you to see others through the eyes of love, to imagine lovingly on their behalf. See them as they wish to be seen, as their highest, most actualized selves. In doing so, you not only elevate them, but you elevate yourself. For remember, there is no other. In blessing others, you bless yourself. In seeing the divine in others, you recognize the divine within you. This brings us to another crucial point, the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. Many of you struggle with feelings of unworthiness, with the belief that you are somehow not deserving of your heart's desires. But I say to you, with all the conviction of my being, that you are worthy beyond measure. You are a divine being, a perfect expression of the infinite Creator, worthy of all the love, abundance, and joy that life has to offer. If you find yourself struggling with self-love, begin by assuming the state of one who is deeply loved and cherished. Feel it, live it, breathe it. As you persist in this assumption, you will find your entire world transforming to reflect this new self-concept. For the outside world can only ever show you what you hold to be true about yourself. Now let us turn our attention to the concept of detachment, for it is crucial in understanding how to navigate the path of manifestation. Many of you, in your eagerness to see your desires fulfilled, cling tightly to the outcome, anxiously awaiting signs of its manifestation. But this very anxiety, this attachment to results, creates resistance that slows the process of manifestation. True mastery lies in detachment, in the ability to plant the seed of your desire and then let it grow naturally, without constantly digging it up to check its progress. This detachment comes from a place of deep trust, trust in the law, trust in the process, and most importantly, trust in yourself as the operant power in your universe. When you truly understand that your desire is already fulfilled in the realm of infinite possibility, that it is making its youth through the bridge of incidents, if you can relax into a state of calm expectancy, you need not worry about the how or the when. Your only task is to maintain the assumption of your wish fulfilled, to live each day from the state of the person who already has what they desire. This state of relaxed expectancy, of knowing without anxious striving, is the fertile soil in which your desires take root and flourish. It is in this state that you become most receptive to inspiration, to divine guidance, to those seemingly miraculous coincidences that lead you effortlessly towards the fulfillment of your desires. Remember, my dear friends, that the universe is infinitely abundant. There is no lack, no limitation, except that which you impose upon yourself through your beliefs and assumptions. When you truly internalize this truth, where you live from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, you open yourself to receive blessings beyond your wildest dreams. This abundance mindset extends far beyond material possessions. It encompasses love, joy, peace, creativity, all the qualities that make life rich and fulfilling. As you assume the state of one who is abundantly blessed in all areas of life, you will find that opportunities and resources flow to you effortlessly, often in ways you could never have anticipated. Now let us address a common misconception, the idea that assuming your desire fulfilled means sitting back passively and waiting for it to appear. Nothing could be further from the truth. The law of assumption is not about inaction, but inspired action. When you truly assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you naturally begin to think, feel, and act in alignment with that state. You may find yourself suddenly inspired to take a certain course of action, to reach out to a particular prodding, to explore a new opportunity. These inspired actions flow naturally from your assumed state, guiding you effortlessly towards the manifestation of your desire. The key is to remain open and receptive, to trust your intuition, and to act on these divine impulses when they arise. Remember, every desire that arises within you carries within it the seed of its own fulfillment. The very fact that you can conceive of a desire means that you have the capacity to bring it into manifestation. Your task is not to make it happen through force of will, but to align your consciousness with the fulfillment of that desire, to become in imagination the person who already has what you seek. As you go about your daily life practicing the law of assumption, you will begin to notice a profound shift in your perception of reality. The world around you will seem more vibrant, more alive with possibility. Synchronicities will abound, doors will open where before there were only walls. This is the natural result of aligning your consciousness with the infinite creative power of the universe. But remember, my friends, that this journey of conscious creation is not about accumulating possessions or achieving worldly success. While these things may come as a natural byproduct of your expanded consciousness, the true goal is the realization of your divine nature, the full expression of your infinite potential. As you master the art of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desires themselves begin to evolve. No longer will you be driven by lack or fear, but by a deep desire to express your unique gifts, to contribute to the world in meaningful ways, to experience the fullness of life in all its magnificent variety. This evolution of desire is a natural part of your spiritual growth. As you align more fully with your true nature, as you embrace your role as a conscious creator, you will find yourself drawn to experiences and pursuits that bring you into greater harmony with the divine flow of life. Now let us address a question that often arises as one begins to consciously apply the law of assumption. What about setbacks and challenges? How do I maintain my assumption in the face of apparent failure or disappointment? This, my friends, is where your faith is truly tested, where the rubber meets the road in your journey of conscious creation. Remember that what appears to be a setback or failure is often a necessary part of the bridge of incidents leading to the fulfillment of your desire. The universe always moves in the most efficient way possible to bring about your assumed state. What may seem like a detour or delay from your limited human perspective may in fact be the perfect unfolding of events to lead you to your desired outcome. In these moments of apparent setback, it is crucial to redouble your efforts in maintaining your assumption. Do not be swayed by appearances, for they are but shadows of past beliefs. Instead, stand firm in your conviction, knowing that your desired state is already a reality in the realm of infinite possibility, making it your three-dimensional experience. Use these moments as opportunities to strengthen your faith, to deepen your understanding of the law. For it is often in our darkest moments that our greatest breakthroughs occur, when we are forced to dig deep and find reserves of faith and resilience we never knew we possessed. Remember, too, that the law of assumption operates with mathematical precision. There is no room for doubt or uncertainty in its operation. When you assume a state, the entire universe conspires to bring it into manifestation. Your only task is to persist in that assumption, to live from that state with unwavering faith, regardless of external circumstances. As you continue on this journey of conscious creation, you will find that your entire relationship with life begins to shift. No longer will you see yourself as a small, powerless being at the mercy of external forces. Instead, you will recognize yourself as the divine creator of your reality, shaping your world through the power of your consciousness. This shift in perspective brings with it a profound sense of peace and empowerment. For when you truly understand that you are the author of your life story, that you have the power to rewrite any aspect of your experience at any moment, fear and anxiety naturally fall away. In that place arises a deep sense of trust in the perfection of life's unfolding. But with this power comes great responsibility. As you become more adept at consciously creating your reality, you must also become more mindful of the states you occupy, the assumptions you hold. For remember, the law is impartial. It will bring into manifestation whatever state you assume, whether positive or negative. This is why it is crucial to cultivate a practice of self-awareness, to become the vigilant observer of your own thoughts and feelings. Catch yourself when you slip into negative states, when you entertain doubts or fears. Gently, but firmly redirect your attention to the state of your wish fulfilled. With practice, this redirection becomes second nature, a natural reflex of your awakened consciousness. As you master this art of conscious living, you will find that your life becomes a joyous adventure, a grand exploration of the infinite possibilities that exist within you. Every day becomes an opportunity to experience new aspects of your divine nature, to express more fully the unique gifts you have to offer the world. Imagine, if you will, a world where the very fabric of reality bends to your will, where the thoughts you think and the beliefs you hold shape the experiences you encounter. This is not a flight of fancy, my dear peer friends, but the fundamental nature of our existence. You see, the universe in which we live is not a cold, indifferent machine, but a responsive, malleable substance that takes on the form of our dominant impressions. Let us begin by understanding a crucial principle. Your mind, your wonderful human imagination, is the God of which all sacred texts speak. It is the creative power through which all things are made manifest. When you truly grasp this concept, you will realize that the power to create wealth, abundance, and prosperity lies not in some external force, but within the confines of your own consciousness. Now, you might be wondering, how can this be? How can my thoughts possibly manifest money within such a short span of time? The answer, my friends, lies in understanding that time is but an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of spirit, in the domain of imagination, there is no past, no future, only the eternal now. And it is in this eternal now that all possibilities exist simultaneously. To activate your mind and manifest money within 24 hours, you must first shift your consciousness. You must move from a state of lack and wanting to a state of abundance and having. This shift is not something that happens in the outer world. It is an inner movement, a change in your mental atmosphere. When you can feel the naturalness of being wealthy, when you can sleep in the assumption of your desire fulfilled, the outer world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your inner conviction. Let me share with you a technique that, when applied with unwavering faith and persistence, can bring about miraculous results. As you retire to bed tonight, I want you to close your eyes and construct the scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire for wealth. Perhaps you see yourself holding a bank statement with a balance that thrills you, or maybe you feel the weight of your wallet heavy with crisp new bills. Whatever scene you choose, make it as vivid and as real as you possibly can. Now, here's the crucial part. You must enter into this scene. You must participate in it fully using all your senses. Feel the paper of the bank statement between your fingers. Smell the crisp sense of new currency. Hear the rustle of bills as you thumb through them. Make this imaginal act so real that it takes on the tones of reality. You must persist in this state until you feel a sense of satisfaction, a feeling that tells you, yes, this is done. As you drift off to sleep, carry this feeling with you. Let it be the last thing on your mind as you enter the world of slumber. For it is in sleep that the subconscious mind is most receptive, most malleable to the impressions we give it. And it is the subconscious that possesses the power to bring our imaginal acts into physical manifestation. But remember, my dear friends, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. Therefore, when you awaken in the morning, you must maintain this feeling of wealth, this consciousness of abundance. Do not let the appearances, the physical world, shake your conviction. For what you see now is but the shadow of past thoughts and beliefs. The new state you have entered will take a little time to project itself onto the screen of space. Throughout your day, whenever you have a quiet moment, revisit that scene. Feel once again the joy, the excitement, the naturalness of being in possession of the wealth you desire. Let this feeling permeate every fiber of your being. For you are not trying to get something, you are acknowledging that you already have it in the realm of imagination. And therefore, it must come into physical expression. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, I've tried positive thinking before and it didn't work. To this, I say there is a world of difference between mere positive thinking and the art of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Positive thinking often still carries with it the consciousness of lack, the awareness that you are trying to change something. But in the law I'm teaching you, there is no trying. There is only the acknowledgement of what is already yours in imagination. Consider the biblical phrase before they call, I will answer. This is not some mystical promise, but a statement of how reality operates. The moment you can feel the reality of your desire, the moment you can live from the end as though it were already accomplished, in that instant your prayer is answered. The things and events of the outer world are merely catching up to the truth you have accepted in your imagination. Let me tell you a story to illustrate this principle. I once knew a man who was in dire financial straits. His business was failing, his debts were mounting, and he could see no way out of his predicament. He came to me desperate for a solution. I shared with him this very law we're discussing today. At first he was skeptical, but he was also at his wit's end and willing to try anything. I instructed him to go home and before sleeping to construct a scene that would imply his financial problems were solved. He chose to imagine himself sitting in his office, looking at a pile of paid invoices and a bank statement, showing a healthy balance. I told him to make this scene as real as possible and to fall asleep in this state. The next morning he awoke feeling different. There was a lightness to his step, a confidence he hadn't felt in months. Nothing in his outer world had changed yet, but he knew he felt that everything was going to be all right. Throughout the day he held on to this feeling, revisiting his imaginal scene whenever doubt tried to creep in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Within 24 hours, he received a call from a client he hadn't heard from in years. This client had a large project and wanted to work exclusively with him. The advance payment for this project was enough to cover all his outstanding debts and breathe a new life into his business. So, is this a coincidence? Absolutely not. It was the law in operation. The moment he changed his inner state, the outer world had to realign itself to match his new consciousness. This, my friends, is the power you hold within you. This is the creative force of your imagination at work. But let me be clear, this is not about manipulating external circumstances. It's not about forcing the world to bend to your will. Rather, it's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of reality. It's about recognizing that the world of form is born from the formless realm of imagination. Now, some of you might be wondering about the morality of using your imagination to manifest money. You might be asking, is it right to simply imagine wealth into existence? To this I say, the use of your imagination is the most fundamental right you possess. It is, in fact, your duty to use this God-given gift to create a life of abundance and joy, not just for yourself, but for all those around you. You see, when you liberate yourself from financial worry, when you step into a state of abundance, you become a blessing to the world. You are able to give more, to help more, to make a greater positive impact on the lives of others. The wealth you manifest is not taken from anyone else. It is created anew from the infinite abundance of the universe. Consider this: every invention, every work of art, every business, every advancement in human society began as an idea, as an imaginal act. The phone in your pocket, the chair you're sitting on, the way building way in, all of these were once just thoughts in someone's mind. By bringing these thoughts into physical reality, these individuals not only enriched themselves, but added value to the world. So I urge you, do not feel guilty about using your imagination to create wealth. Instead, recognize it as your sacred duty, for in doing so, you are aligning yourself with the creative principle of the universe. You are fulfilling your role as a co-creator with the divine. Now, let's delve deep in the mechanics of this process. When you imagine yourself in a state of wealth, when you feel the naturalness of abundance, you are literally reshaping your concept of self. And your concept of self is the foundation upon which your entire life experience is built. Most people live their lives based on a concept of self that was given to them by others, their parents, their teachers, their society. They accept limitations that were never truly theirs. But you, my dear friends, you have the power to consciously choose your concept of self. You have the ability to decide right here and now that you are a person of wealth and abundance. This decision, this shift in your concept of self, is not something that happens on a purely intellectual level. It must be felt. It must be experienced with the full force of your imagination. When you can feel the reality of being wealthy with the same intensity that you feel the floor beneath your feet, that's when true transformation occurs. Let's practice this together right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and relax. Now, I want you to imagine you are holding a check in your hands. This check is made out to you, and the amount on it is more money than you've ever had in your life. Look at the numbers. See them clearly. Feel the paper between your fingers. Notice the weight of it in your hands. Now, I want you to amplify this experience. Feel the excitement coursing through your body. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of possibility that comes with this newfound wealth. Let this feeling grow stronger and stronger until it fills your entire being. This, my friends, this feeling is more important than any mental picture, for it is your feelings that shape your reality. Open your eyes. How do you feel? Different, you? That feeling, that state of consciousness is what you must return to again and again. That is the fertile soil in which the seeds of your desires will grow and bear fruit. But here's a crucial point. You must persist in this new state. The old man, the old concept of self, will try to reassert itself. Doubts will arise. The evidence of your physical senses will try to convince you that nothing has changed. This is where your faith will be tested. Remember, faith is not blind belief. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. It is the conviction that what you have imagined and felt as real in your mind must by cosmic law be made manifest in your physical reality. When doubt arises, when the old patterns of thought try to pull you back, you must return again and again to that feeling of wealth, that consciousness of abundance. Think of it this way. Your imagination is like a gardener planting seeds. The feeling of wealth, the consciousness of abundance. These are the seeds you are planting in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. But just as a gardener doesn't dig up the seeds every day to see if they're growing, you must not constantly question whether your imaginal act is working. Instead, you must water these seeds with your attention, your faith, your persistent assumption that what you have imagined is already a reality. And just as surely as a corn grows into an oak tree, your imaginal act will grow into a physical reality. Now, let's address a common concern. Some of you might be thinking, but what about action? Don't I need to do something in the physical world to manifest money? This is a valid question, and the answer might surprise you. Yes, action is important, but it's not the kind of action you might be thinking of. You see, the most important action is the action of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This internal action, this movement of consciousness, is far more powerful than any external action you could take. When you successfully assume the feeling of being wealthy, when you live from that state of consciousness, you will be moved to take whatever outer actions are necessary to bring your desire into manifestation. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel natural, inspired. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will present themselves to you. People will be drawn to you, eager to do business with you. This is the law in operation. This is the power of your activated imagination. But remember, the outer actions are not the cause of your wealth. They are the result of your change in consciousness. They are the bridge of incidents that lead to the fulfillment of your desire. The real work, the true action, takes place in your imagination. Now, I want to address something that many of you might be experiencing as you listen to these words, as you contemplate this law. You might be feeling a sense of excitement mixed with disbelief. A part of you might be saying, "This sounds too good to be true. It can't be this simple. This reaction is natural." It's the old consciousness, the old concept of self, fighting to maintain its existence. But I want you to consider something which is simpler. To believe that you must struggle and strive for years to accumulate wealth, always at the mercy of external circumstances, or to accept that the power to create the life you desire lies within you, waiting to be activated by your imagination. The truth is, this law is simple. But simple does not mean easy. It requires a fundamental shift in how you view reality. It demands that you take full responsibility for your life experience. It asks you to question everything you've been taught about the nature of reality and your place in it. This is why so few people truly succeed in consciously creating their reality. Not because it doesn't work, but because they're unwilling to persist through the initial period of uncertainty. The period where their new assumptions have not yet been made manifest in the physical world. But you, my dear friends, you who have chosen to be here today, you are different. You are the select few who are ready to take control of your destiny. You are the ones who will persist, who will hold fast to your new assumption of wealth and abundance, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. And make no mistake, the outer world will seem to contradict it, at least at first. This is the time of testing, the time when your faith in the unseen reality must be stronger than your faith in the evidence of your physical senses. But if you can persist through this period, if you can maintain your new state of consciousness regardless of outer appearances, you will see miracles unfold in your life. Now let's talk about the frame mentioned in our topic, within 24 hours. Some of you might be wondering if it's really possible to manifest money that quickly. The answer is a resounding yes, but with a caveat. The manifestation of your desire in the physical world is not subject to time as we understand it in our three-dimensional existence. In the fourth-dimensional realm of imagination, the realm where all creation begins, there is no time. There's only the eternal now. When you successfully impress your subconscious mind with a feeling of wealth, when you can live in the state of the wish fulfilled, the seed of your desire is planted instantaneously. The 24 hours mentioned in our topic is not a rigid time frame for physical manifestation. Rather, it refers to the period within which you can fundamentally alter your state of consciousness. When you go to sleep tonight, in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, when you maintain that state upon waking and throughout your day, you will have activated your mind to manifest money. From that point on, the bridge of incidents that leads to the physical manifestation of your desire begins to fall. For some, this manifestation might occur within 24 hours. For others, it might take a bit longer. But make no mistake, once you have truly assumed the state of wealth in your imagination, its physical manifestation is assured. The key is to focus not on the when, but on the what. Focus on maintaining the feeling of wealth, the consciousness of abundance. Let go of any anxiety about how or when your desire will manifest. Remember, the feeling is the secret. The feeling of wealth experienced with all the vividness of your imagination is the cause. The outer manifestation of money is the effect. Now, I want to share with you a powerful technique that can help you maintain this state of wealth consciousness throughout your day. It's a technique I call wearing your desire. Here's how it works. Imagine that your desired state of wealth is like a garment, a beautiful payload billet suit or dress. In your imagination, put on this garment. Feel the texture of the fabric against your skin. Feel how it fits you perfectly. Feel the confidence, the assurance that comes wearing this garment of wealth. Now, as you go about your day, whenever you start to doubt, whenever the old state tries to reassert, remind yourself, I am wearing my desire. I am clothed in wealth. Feel it. Experience it as vividly as you can. This simple technique can work wonders in helping you maintain your new state of consciousness. Remember, my dear friends, you are not trying to create something new. You are simply aligning yourself with the wealth that already exists in the infinite realm of possibility. You are choosing to embody a particular state of being, a state of wealth and abundance that already exists in the spiritual realm. Your job is not to make it happen. Your job is to select the state you wish to embody and then to occupy that state so completely in your imagination that it becomes your new reality. The outer world has no choice but to conform your inner assumption. Now, some of you might be wondering about the role of gratitude in this process. Gratitude is indeed a powerful force, but not in the way many people think. You see, most people believe they should be grateful for what they have in order to receive more. But this approach still carries with it the consciousness of lack, the awareness that you don't yet have what you desire. True gratitude, the kind that aligns with the law we're discussing, is gratitude for what you have imagined as real. It's the feeling of thankfulness that arises naturally when you have successfully assumed the state of your wish fulfilled. When you can genuinely feel grateful for your imagined wealth, as though it were already a physical fact, you align yourself powerfully with the state of having that wealth. This alignment, this feeling of gratitude for your imagined reality, serves to amplify your assumption and accelerate its manifestation. It's a recognition of the truth that what you have conceived in imagination is as real as any physical fact. This kind of gratitude doesn't come from a place of lack or wanting, but from a place of abundance and fulfillment. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. The law we've been exploring is not a one-time event, but a way of life. It's not about manifesting money once and then returning to your old patterns of thought. It's about consistently living from the state of abundance, regardless of outer circumstances. Even after you've successfully manifested money, continue to occupy a state of wealth in your imagination. Make it your permanent dwelling place, for as you do this, you'll find that abundance becomes your natural state of being. Money and opportunities will flow to you effortlessly, not because you're focusing on manifesting them, but because you're consistently embodying the state of wealth. Remember, the outer world is constantly conforming to your inner assumptions. By maintaining a consistent state of wealth consciousness, you ensure consistent experience of abundance in your physical reality. This is the true secret to lasting prosperity. In closing, I want to remind you of the immense power you hold within you. Your human imagination, properly understood and applied, is the very force that shapes reality. It is the God power spoken of in Scripture, the creative principle of the universe individualized in you. You are not a helpless victim of circumstances, but the author of your life story. With your imagination, you have the power to rewrite that story at any moment. Choose now to write a story of abundance of wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Choose to step into the state of wealth, to wear it like a garment, to feel its reality with every fiber of your being. Go forth from this place with the knowledge that you are now activating your mind to manifest money. Know that as you sleep tonight, in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, as you awaken tomorrow morning in the state of wealth, you are setting in motion forces beyond your comprehension that will move heaven and earth to bring your desire into manifestation. And finally, my dear friends, remember this: the law we've discussed today is not just about manifesting money. It's about recognizing and claiming your birthright as a creative being. Use this law not just for personal gain, but to enrich the world around you. For as you step into your power, as you manifest abundance in your own life, you become a beacon of hope and inspiration for others. You become living proof of the limitless potential that resides within each of us. Go now and create the life of abundance you desire and deserve. The power is yours. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and watch in awe as your world transforms before your very eyes.